Hi, it's Melissa and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm sharing the latest sketch reveal over at Let's Get Sketchy. I'll have a link to the challenge blog below. That's a look at the sketch by Renchevia, and this is my layout. So I flipped the sketch to the left, and it worked best for me because I really wanted to scrap these two photos, and the two photos help tell the story because one of them is a close-up, or more close-up than the other one. And so because the sketch showed I guess it's a portrait photo, a single photo, I wanted to flip it so that it was more like a landscape photo, and that way I could have two photos. So I hope that makes sense. So I'm using my September hit kit, and yes, I know it's February now, but I've been slowly scrapping with this kit and getting it used up, and I'm down to the scraps now, so I probably only really have one layout to go, and then I will do a layout share of everything I've made with it. So I'm just making these corner pieces, and that ampersand paper is from Dear Lizzie, and the stripe is from Amy Tangerine, and I love how they look together. And I think I've said before when I've used the ampersand paper that I really wanted to feature it. And so this heart, yellow heart, I think it's from Dear Lizzie as well, forgive me if I'm wrong, and I love that one as well, so it was awesome to have a sketch that really features and showcases large pieces of paper. And I've purposefully left them, as you'll see as I go on, I've left them quite plain and not embellished over them too much, and that's really true to the sketch. So I use my tape runner to adhere these papers because I know that I'm going to stitch between the two. So I'm going to make a seam, is what I'm trying to say, between the two pieces on each of the corners. So they're really like giant triangular photo corners, and I like how they look. So I did use some double-sided tape on that one, I think because it's a bigger piece. I don't know, I just did it. I'm not really sure why. So I'm trimming off the excess, and later on I take it to my machine and stitch it down. And I think the reason that I didn't do this straight away is because I did consider doing some mixed media, and I found that if I rush my adhering when there's mixed media, I end up with warped paper because I can't be bothered waiting. So I've learnt my lesson now. So now I'm working on the positioning of my photos, and I find that a little bit of double-sided tape and positioning them before they're on the page is the best way for me. This is also one of my favourite pieces of paper in this kit, and it's by Amy Tangerine. I've cut a lot of those flowers, I've fussy cut them and used them as embellishments. And so here at this point I did think that I was going to use that side with the flowers, but it's really too much against the ampersand paper, and most of it gets hidden anyway. So I will eventually turn it over. Now I'm just going through the embellishments that I have left, and here is a tip for you. If you like your rub-ons, use them. Don't leave them like I did, because I try to rub them on and they are completely dry, so I guess that's a lesson for me. I won't do that again. Or if you are not going to use them, make sure you put them back in the plastic package that they come in and seal it back up. So here I'm just going through these die cuts from Amy Tangerine, and these chipboard and wood veneer words are from Create Paper Wonder Collection, and I'm having a hard time making them work with this kit. I don't know if it's because they're quite large, but I'm not worried. I'll definitely use them on something else. So here I've turned that paper over, and it's kind of a minty, aquary, dotty paper, and I'm happy with that. And I hadn't used any of that because I've totally focused on the floral side, so always good to look at the bee sides as well. And it looks so much better with my photos. And also it matches that hello, my name is oh how fun. So this photo is pretty funny if you look closely. It's our youngest. She went through this phase of going through the clean washing pile and getting mine and Azaria's underwear and putting them around her neck like a necklace. She's even been known to pull them off the rack when they're drying inside and they may even be a little bit damp, and she still puts them around her neck. And I think she had about 6 pairs of undies around her neck, so of course I had to take a photo. The photo is not, the light's not great because it was taken at night, and I think it was, oh yeah, September 2015, so very early spring for us here, so that's why the light is not great. But to me, this one really has a story that goes with the photos, and that's what I wanted to document, as well, of course, as photos. So I don't limit my scrapbooking just because the light in my photos isn't that great. So here I'm popping some Stampin' Up! Dimensionals, as always, behind some of the elements, and that just provides a bit of interest so that everything's not flat to page. And I had a mark on the paper, and so I just covered it with that heart and I glued that down. And when I saw the word totally, it's acetate, I knew I had to include it somehow on this page. And so at first I thought I would call the layout totally LOL, so totally laugh out loud. I think it's really important to use the lingo of the time, and I don't mean getting all, into the way teenagers speak or that kind of thing, because I know there's a lot of words that they use that us non-teenagers don't use. But LOL is definitely a social media term that we all use. Then I wanted to include some of these houses because they are so cute, and I thought the photo was taken at home, so it's not totally random. And as you can see there, I've added the October afternoon stickers to make the title a totally LOL moment, because it was hilarious, and she didn't really know what we were laughing at, but anyway, I think she probably laughed along with us. So just playing with these houses, trying to work out where to put them, and I like the little green and blue one, and that's the one that will make it onto the page. I've lifted up the edges of those strips, and I didn't show doing the bottom strip, but I have done that as well. And here I'm just adding some of the Amy Tangerine enamel hearts, which I love. And you'll see that I've also added some of the cork arrow or chevrons as well, just to add some more cork onto the page. I've threaded my tag and trimmed it off, and then I thought I'm going to add some stitching because I just wanted to add something extra that was a bit different, and I haven't done hand stitching for a long time, so I just paper pierced it and stitched it. And when I got to the bottom left corner, it was crooked, so all I did was add an extra piece of paper, and you'd never know. So my final step was to add some stamping and some ink. So thank you so much for watching, and I will be back again really soon.